to the mayor.
Thank you, Council President Shaw. This is Mayor Shave. It is Wednesday, June 9th, 2021 at 7:37 p.m. and I call the council meeting to order. Public comments and public hearing comments are included during the Zoom video meetings. The public was notified that if they wish to speak during the meeting, an email be sent to Patricia Soul, City Clerk, and indicate if they would like to speak or have the clerk read the comment. If they desire to comment live, they will be called on during the meeting and allowed to speak for 3 minutes. Written comments provided before the meeting have been provided to all the city council members and will be read into the record up to the current 3-minute limit. City Clerk Soul, would you please take a roll call?
Yes. Councilmember Andrews,
Here.
Councilmember Ellis,
I'm here.
Councilmember Francie.
Here.
Councilmember Gordon,
Here.
Councilmember Cashman. Here. Councilmember Kennedy,
Present.
Councilmember Mackey,
Also present.
Councilmember Richrod,
Right here.
Councilmember Ross,
Here.
Councilmember Shaw,
Here.
Councilmember Short,
Here.
Councilmember Taylor,
Here.
Mayor Shave.
Here,
All are in attendance.
thank you. The next item is approval of the minutes.
Mayor Shave,
Yes,
I would move for approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
Second.
thank you. Motion was made and seconded to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is additions and deletions. Are there any additions or deletions? Councilmember Catchman.
Mayor Shave, under deletions for finance reports and communications, item number 4, I will make a motion to remove that report from the agenda.
Second.
Motion was made and seconded to remove report number 4 in the Finance Committee reports. Is there any discussion? Under discussion, Committee Chair Catchman.
Try to say that 3 times fast. Yeah, we talked about this tonight during committee just for the council's edification. And Director Barnum was going to go back to the museum board to get some additional details for the report, including a dollar amount, and have a couple additional conversations regarding the report. So it may be brought back to council for consideration in the future.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the report will be deleted. I have an addition. If I would like to add an appointment to the Seaport Board.
So moved.
Second.
Second,
Thank you. Motion was made and seconded to add an appointment to the Seaport Board to the agenda under appointments at the end of towards the end of the meeting. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next on the item on the agenda is public comments on all topics. Or if you want to comment on the public hearing, a written request must be submitted to the city clerk. We don't have a public hearing, so City Clerk Soul, do we have any public comments?
No, we do not.
Thank you. Next item I'll move on to is the Finance Committee, Committee Chair Catchman.
All right, well, finance met tonight at 6 p.m. via Zoom and discussed all the items on the agenda. There's a lot to get through tonight, so I'll get into those, starting first with expenditures and payroll. I move that we approve the expenditures and payroll.
I second.
Thank you. Motion was made and seconded to approve the expenditures and payroll. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, City Clerk Sol, this is a roll call vote, please.
Okay, motion to approve accounts payable in the total amount of 2,219,804.24 and payroll in the total amount of 856,074.49. Check numbers 25161 through 25169 and 73378 through 73535 and wires 1261 through 1263. And the roll call vote. Councilmember Andrews,
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis,
Yes.
Councilmember Francie,
Yes.
Councilmember Gordon,
Yes.
Councilmember Cashman,
Yes.
Councilmember Kennedy,
Yes.
Councilmember Mackey,
Yes.
Councilmember Richrod,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Council President Shaw,
Yes.
Councilmember Short,
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor,
Yes.
fully approved.
Thank you.
All right, under reports, first we have a report from Finance and the Community Development Director recommending that the City Council authorize the mayor to enter into a purchase and sale agreement for the parcels as outlined on the attached map in the agenda for a fee of $100,000 to be taken out of the general fund. Ownership of the property would be transferred to Public Works. I move we adopt this report.
I second.
Motion was made and seconded to adopt this report. Is there any discussion? Council President Shaw.
We discussed in finance, the money trail on how eventually the property would be paid for. And I offer an amendment. I would move to amend the report to have Public Works reimburse the general fund when preparing its 2021 budget.
I second.
Motion was made and seconded to amend this report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed to the amendment? Seeing none, the amendment passed. So now we're voting on the amended report. Do we need a new motion for that? Okay, thank you. Is there any discussion on the report as amended? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The report is adopted.
All right, next report is from Finance and the Community Development Director recommending that the City Council authorize the staff to work with Express Personnel to hire a temporary employee for nuisance abatements for a total fee not to exceed $10,000. I move we adopt this report.
I second.
Motion was made and seconded to adopt this report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. Oh, Margot, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I can't see me there. Anyhow, how long do we anticipate temporary being?
Through the summer.
Okay,
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the report, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. The motion carries.
Next is a report from Finance and the Parks Director recommending that the City Council authorize the mayor to sign an agreement with Berglund, Schmidt and Associates to perform a boundary line adjustment and record of survey for Pioneer Park property adjacent to Stevens School for an amount not to exceed $6,375. I move we adopt this report.
I second.
Motion was made and seconded to adopt this report. Is there any discussion? Council President Shaw.
For the record, I would just like to state for the council, most people know I work for the school district, but in this instance, I have remained studiously uninvolved in this issue so that I could preserve my right to participate as a council member.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, finally is a report from finance and the finance director recommending that the city council authorize the mayor to sign the 3 forms required to request and agree to the terms and conditions for the local fiscal recovery funds from the American Rescue Plan Act grant. I move we adopt this.
I second.
Motion was made and seconded to adopt this report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? The report is adopted.
And Mayor Shave, that's all from the Finance Committee tonight.
Thank you. Committee Chair Kennedy, do you have a report on Public Works?
Thank you, Mayor. Public Works Committee met yesterday at 4 o'clock via Zoom. And we had a discussion about our agenda items and some other solar grant items that Liz Ellis had brought up. So always some fun discussion in there. And then at the end, we also had some discussion with Council President Shaw about a couple of items. So always a good time in Public Works Committee. So we're going to get right down to it. First, we have a public hearing. This is the date set for public hearing to receive public comment on a revised and extended 6-year transportation improvement plan TIP for the years 2022 and through 2027. I move we open the public hearing.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded to open the public hearing. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? The public hearing is now open. Is there any, City Clerk Sol, is there any comments on the public hearing?
There was no email about commenting at the public hearing.
Okay, thank you.
With that, I move that we close the public hearing.
Motion is made and seconded to close the public hearing. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Public hearing is closed.
And next we have a report from Public Works and the Public Works Director recommending that the Public Works staff shall be authorized to contract with Vaughn Company, Inc. for $68,120 plus tax for the purchase of 5 sanitary sewer pump station chopper pumps. I move we adopt this report.
Second.
Motion was made and seconded to adopt this report. Is there any discussion? Committee Chair Kennedy.
Thank you very much. Just under discussion, this was budgeted, and some of you will remember that quite a few meetings ago, it was agreed to solely source these pumps from Vaughn Company, which is a local source. So it's great to be able to purchase locally and makes the maintenance of these a lot easier. Just one set of parts, and they can respond in 20 minutes rather than a few days.
Thank you. Plus, they meet our needs better because they're all chopper pumps. I use this as my start today with good news because the term 5 or 6 pumps and $68,000 just doesn't go together. A lot of times you can pay that much for one pump.
And they're the best,
Councilmember-
and they're the best pumps in the nation. So it's like,
Councilmember Short.
Am I remembering that Vaughn Company is one of very few places in the nation that sells these things?
That's correct.
So we are lucky to have them close.
Yep. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The report is adopted.
and that is all from Public Works.
Wow. Okay. Committee Chair Andrews for
complain.
Public Safety.
All right, Public Safety met tonight at 6:30. The police deputy chief let us know that the VIPs have put in 151 and a half hours for May alone. Catherine Powell is set to be our record holder of our VIPs, having 400 hours since she joined in 2020. So if you see Catherine Powell, give her a pat on her back. The VIPs were recognized in local media recently for our assistance in the vaccination clinics and the COVID testing prior to that. They're accepting applications for entry-level police officers and police services officers right now. So if anybody wants to either be a police officer or a police services, which is also our correction officers, and those applications are available on our website. 2 more bikes were donated by the Downtown Aberdeen Association. And the DC attended the Southside Watch meeting and found that very useful. Over on the fire side, Monica Myers, who is the fire service specialist, has been doing quite a bit of outreach. She did 5 home visits in the month of May, 18 public service assists. It's just quite a bit. And she just recently attended the National Fire Academy back in Maryland. And so she'll be doing some studies on our falls and kitchen fires, which are both very high in our area. We had 531 calls in the month of May, and he usually compares them to Graham, and he thinks they beat us this month, but you know, we'll let him have this month. And let's see, and we only have 1 item on the agenda this evening. So we have a report from Public Safety and the Community Development Director recommending that the City Council authorize the mayor to sign a 3rd amendment to the contract with TCA Architectural Planning. This is just for a date extension, no extra money. I move we accept this report.
Bertrand, second.
Motion is made, seconded to accept this report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The report is adopted.
And that's it from Public Safety.
Thank you. Under special agenda items, I think the only thing on there is I have a proclamation and an appointment. And I will read the proclamation. Whereas the city of Aberdeen has an interest in and committed to the beautification of the city. And whereas the city has a group of dedicated community volunteers known since 2016 as the Aberdeen Bloom Team, who together donate untold hours throughout the year to support the beautification of the city. And whereas, as a part of their efforts, the Aberdeen Bloom Team works with the Aberdeen Parks Department to put flowers in over 170 ground pots and hanging 160 flower baskets throughout downtown, East Aberdeen, and South Aberdeen. And whereas the planning and maintenance of these 330 containers is recognized statewide for its contribution to improving the vibrancy and beauty of Aberdeen. And whereas the volunteer work by the Aberdeen Bloom Team enhances the lives and outlooks of both residents and visitors as they travel through Aberdeen. And whereas the 5-year partnership between the City of Aberdeen and the Bloom team has continued to grow and make significant positive impacts for Aberdeen. Now therefore do I, Pete Shave, Mayor of the City of Aberdeen, proclaim June 12th, 2021 as Aberdeen Bloom Day in the City of Aberdeen, Washington, and I call upon the citizens of Aberdeen to join in recognizing and expressing their appreciation for the dedication and service by the individuals who serve the Bloom team. I want to thank them all very much. Lastly,
Here, here.
do we need to approve that with a vote?
It does not need to be, sorry, Corporation Counsel Patrice Kent. It is the mayor's proclamation. It does not need to be ratified by city council, but if they choose to do so, they certainly may.
The door is open as far as I'm concerned, because the Bloom team deserves all the accolades they can get. So
Yes.
I move we accept this proclamation.
Second.
motion is made and seconded to accept this proclamation. Any discussion?
Enthusiastically.
I think the minutes should say that we unanimously move to adopt the.
Yes.
Councilmember Kennedy.
Just under discussion, this is something they do every year. So should this eventually become a recurring proclamation of some kind, or I know their day changes, based on off of whichever Saturday it falls on, but I'm just thinking this is a yearly event for the city, so it might be beneficial in the future, at least, to look at making this a recurring proclamation or recurring day.
That's a good point. We could look at doing that. However, I think there's a lot of value into actually bringing it up publicly,
Every year.
every year. So, okay. Lastly, that was discussion. We didn't vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, lastly, I would like to appoint Regina Haney to the Seaport Board. I will, I sent everybody the information on Regina, so I think you're all familiar. If I would entertain a motion.
I would
Deanne?
So
move
moved.
to- I would move to support the appointment of Ms. Haney.
Second.
Okay, motion was made, seconded to appoint Regina Henry to the Seaport Board. Regina Haney. Is there any discussion? Councilmember Richrod.
Under discussion, I spoke with Ms. Haney earlier, and she is one of the many people who is from out of this area. She moved here from Puyallup, having bounced between New Orleans and Seattle and Ohio, and she was really thrilled with the Lady Washington and the Seaport, and had been to some of the meetings, and she was just all excited about being on the board of the Seaport Authority. And I thought that was really great that she stepped up. And she's got experience with 501c3 organizations. So what an asset.
Nice. Anyone else? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Regina is officially a Seaport Board member. Lastly, we have an executive session. And I would entertain a motion to recess for.
Point of order, Mayor, you're skipping city council comment period again.
I did that last time too. I'm sorry, I really am.
Thank you.
Next item is city council comment period. Anyone on the council have any comments? Councilmember Ellis.
Thank you, Mayor.
I'm gonna highlight that for next meeting.
Good idea. The Washington Department of Commerce has a solar grant that's coming out that will pay for installing solar panels on city-owned facilities. So I would encourage all the department heads to look at buildings, particularly with roofs that are in good shape with southern or western exposures that might be good candidates for a grant. So we can make some money off of those roofs and keep our power costs down. And then secondly, I wanted to read a statement if I could.
Okay,
As US citizens, we enjoy the right to peaceful assembly. Threatening, intimidating, or harassing staff, clients, or others in order to express personal beliefs does little to address concerns about exposed needle debris or drug addiction. Unfortunately, in the past few weeks, a few people have not been peacefully assembling while protesting at or across from the site where the needle exchange is legally operating. This harassment interferes with clients seeking treatment and support for addiction, behavioral, and mental health conditions. Clients and staff should not have to be concerned about excessive noise or intimidation while they are engaged in providing or receiving care and treatment. As a community, we should support and encourage all who seek to improve their lives. We are a community where all are welcome. None of us are perfect. Shame and blame won't help people to heal and is not in keeping with the caring community we all want to live in. The Aberdeen police have been called to respond to numerous complaints about protesters. Peaceful assembly should not take our officers away from other vital business. I ask that all protesters be respectful of others as they peacefully express their views. COVID has hit our community hard. Let's lift everyone up with encouragement. Thank you.
Mayor, you're on
again.
mute.
that line is gonna go down in history.
Oh, yes.
Most famous line ever. Is there anyone else have any council comment? Councilmember Kennedy?
Thank you very much. I would just like to remind everybody that June is Pride Month, and though COVID has really restricted the ability for any events to be scheduled this month, there is a lot of information about our LGBTQIA community out there, and I really encourage anybody that doesn't understand it to get out there, read, ask questions, and just meet some of these wonderful people in our community.
Thank you. Anyone else on the council?
It's Rod.
Councilmember Richrod has his hand up.
Oh, there you are. Councilmember Rich Rod.
In talking about public safety and the conditions of the public restrooms that we have, which are going to be more of an issue here as the tassel closes down. And Councilmember Ellis has spoken with people at the Tesla charging stations who mentioned that one of the reasons they stopped there not only to charge their cars, but to use the facilities. And the facility, those plastic boxes really are not doing the job. And I and a couple others have looked into, well, we're still looking at a solution in the Portland Loo, and I'm talking to cities who have them, and we're gathering up information on what it costs and what's involved in maintenance and all of the stuff to hook them up and everything that we need to know before we come to a committee or the mayor to find out if that's going to work for us. And also, we're looking at ways that the city does not have to pay for these. And there seem to be roads that would lead to that. And so all that information is forthcoming, but there's no decision, of course, but all that information is forthcoming at some point soon.
Stacy Barnum.
They're about $90,000. I just thought I'd add that.
Stacy's so modest. She's been working
Guy.
this last week on that very problem. So we are well aware of the issues going on over there, especially at the Tesla site, and Stacy's been working on it. Trying to brainstorm a solution, actually.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay. All right, seeing none, we need to recess for 20 minutes, I believe it was, for executive session to discuss legal issues.
Sorry, point of clarification,
30
again,
minutes.
Corporation Council, I was requesting a 30-minute recess to discuss legal issues. And with no action anticipated after the session.
You need a motion there?
Yes,
Yes.
So I would move that we recess into executive session per RCW 42.30.1101I, quote, to discuss with legal counsel representing the agency matters relating to agency enforcement actions, or to discuss with legal counsel representing the agency litigation or potential litigation to which the agency, the governing body, or a member acting in an official capacity is or is likely to become a party when knowledge regarding the discussion is likely to result in an adverse legal or financial consequence to the agency. I would recommend that this executive session be for 30 minutes.
Second.
motion was made and seconded to recess for 30 minutes into executive session, and there'll be no action taken afterwards. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we are recessed.
Come on.
The meeting is being extended an additional 15 minutes, which will put us at 9 PM when they come back. Council is on their way back.
Thank you, Patricia.
Thanks.
It worked.
We're still missing two. We missing one now.
Gonna start calling you the count, Mayor Shave.
So we're missing Margot. I think because there's no action being taken, I could entertain a motion to reconvene.
I move we reconvene the council meeting.
Second.
Motion was made and seconded to reconvene from recess, the council session. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. City council meeting is reconvened. I would entertain any other motion.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion was made and seconded to adjourn. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, unless there's any objection, I will adjourn the city council meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good night.